I feel a lot of times blessed that I've been able to taste what, oh, okay, this is what you mean when you say IPA, right? Is that I can then kind of try to reverse engineer that in my head of go, how would I achieve that? Or how would I get somewhat close to that? Or, hey, I can't get close to that at all. I'm going to completely go in this different direction with this IPA. And
Hmm.
it's still going to be one of the best beers you've ever had.
I love it. Well, Robert, again, thank you so much for your time. Again, if people want to find you guys online, how can they do so?
Yeah. So yeah, divinesciencebrewing.com. That's the best way to find us on like your Googles and your web searches and whatnot. Instagram is the best place in terms of what's a weekly curated content. We push out various reels, we push out various flavor announcements, new store intros, a lot of different stuff. So, that is one way to engage with us directly. You're probably talking to one of the owners very quickly when you're going through something like an Instagram. But also, we have like a contact us page on the website too. So feel free to reach out to us there. So yeah, we are looking to, really kind of gather where we see those supporting areas, right? I mean, I would say Texas is actually one of the biggest areas where we've gotten requests to go into.
There you go.
Um, Places like Florida, places like Colorado, New York, as well as like Canada, Sweden, India, South Asia. Like we're like, whoa, oh, okay, that's cool. Didn't think on those lines when getting this started. And then you're kind of like, okay, that's a whole different can of worms. We'll get to that. But also at the same time, you're like, oh, I really feel like there is something here. So we do really appreciate, the people that seek us out, the people that find us, the people that have their compassionate weed eater friend go, hey, I found a beer you can drink. Right.
Yeah.
Those are the people, like I said, those are the real people who probably stand to impact this industry the most, right? Is those people that have compassion in their hearts, right? And want their friend who's given up on life to have a beer again, right? Because you just don't think it exists. So you oftentimes don't look it up, right? You don't know what you don't know, right? And if you have that compassionate friend that is a craft beer nerd that loves all things craft beer, they're going to oftentimes find us before you will, right? And it's like, why am I just hearing about you from my friend who loves beer? It's like, well, do you go on Google? Do you go on Instagram? Do you search hashtags like gluten-free beer? Do you search things like gluten-free beer in my area? Right? Like if you don't, if you know, you know, and if you don't, you don't.
Exactly. And people who everyone knows somebody in their life right now that either can or cannot have gluten. And so having a brewery that you can also share the love for, because I've had, at least three of them already, and they're all phenomenal. And I could not tell that there was not gluten in here. So they're all phenomenal beers. And so help share the gluten-free breweries because they need more attention. And we all know at least someone that is affected by the gluten injustice of the world. And so we're not all made the same. And so we all need to spread the love when it comes to gluten-free beers. And, I thank you for making these beers. And it's unfortunate that you had to be part of the community, but it's also great because somebody needs to be on the inside to help change things on the outside.
Yeah, no, it's true. I think that we are, like I said, a pint at a time, a brick by brick, right? It's that steady, that steady rush, right? That, you're doing a lot of hurrying up to wait, but then you're
Mhm.
also doing a lot of forward looking back. I think that it is really an all-encompassing experience. And the cool thing is that, at the end of the day, you still get to have a beer. Um, so that's something that just you never knew how much it meant to you till you couldn't have it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like it's so pivotal. And it's funny, I keep coming back to it. It's like beer is culture, man. Like every
beer is
single
culture.
modern or humanoid culture, if you will, that has either written it down or passed it down through oral tradition has had beer of some shape or form. It is who we are as humans, right? Try to deny it, but it's going to come back to, right? Maybe you don't drink nowadays, maybe, but you probably have had a beer. You know what I'm saying? Like it's kind of that thing, right? Like I remember, grabbing I think it was either a Bud or a Corona or something from my dad when I was like 8 or 9, and he wasn't looking. I took a sip, right? Like it's this thing. You're like, I want to know what all the fuss is about. It's a huge part of who we are.
100%. And I've always said that breweries are on the same level of coffee shops when it comes to a community spot for people to hang out and just, either catch up with old friends or celebrate birthdays, anniversaries, baby showers, whatever it is. Breweries are the spot to do it, and they are a hub for the community. And
Yeah.
now in Southern California, there is a hub for people
Mhm.
who are gluten intolerant and they can still enjoy beers.
True. Yeah. I mean, I like to say that the brewery is where most of the modern day revolutions have actually started, good or bad.
Yeah.
Um, but it is this place where I think in an essence, right, there is that element of that side of beer, but there's also this element where it is the meeting of the minds, in a sense very similar to a cafe or coffee shop, where people with different minds, brains, thought processes, backgrounds, all this stuff, we can all fit through that door and come on in and have a drink, and we can share those ideas, and we can all still fit through that door on the way out.
Yep.
Because it is that safe space, right? And I think that we really need to lean into that more as a community, into making both sides be able to feel like they have a seat at the table. The issue is that somewhere along the lines, one or either both sides felt like they didn't have a seat at the table with the other person, and that's where we got into this mess politically as a culture. I don't care how anybody leans, honestly, I really don't, right? Like,
Same.
because the way in which truth is dispersed in this country is naturally skewed, right? Like,
Yeah.
my favorite Mark Twain quote is, if you don't read the news, you're not informed, but if you read the news, you're misinformed. So here we are, and you know what, no matter what color eggshell you are, I promise you that yolk is probably going to be yellow, and that egg white is probably going to still be white when you cook it.
Yep. Exactly.
So yeah, thank you so much for having me. It's been such a
Anytime.
pleasure. I really appreciate it. You touched on the spot that I can't stop talking about, which is beer. So I appreciate it, and I'll let you get back to your evening there.
Oh, you're good. No, once I am long overdue for a trip to Southern California that is not LA. So I will most definitely come out there and visit you guys among the other gluten-filled breweries that I will be also visiting. But it'll be more than worth it because we can sit down, have a couple beers, if not a even flight, and just talk about beers for the rest of the day, and we'll be all good.
Sounds good, man. No, I appreciate you having me. I'm getting a high sign, so I got to get out of here. But thank you again, and it's been such a pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you so much to Robert for being on the show. Again, if you are in the Tustin, California area, or if you want to buy it online, they will ship it to you. Definitely make sure to check out Divine Science. Either way, they are making absolutely amazing beer. And if you are gluten-free or enjoy being gluten-free, curious now, I guess it would be a good term for it, they are definitely the brewery to check out for you. So again, definitely check out Divine Science. And while you're doing that, make sure to follow us and tag us on the social medias when you do try them. It is Brewsers Pod, that is BREWSCRSPOD, on the Instagram, the Threads, and the Twitter. If you want to send us an email, it is brewserspod@gmail.com. If you want to follow me directly, it is Rody John, that is RODIEJON. Rody John is the name on the Twitter and on Untapped. In case you want to find out what I'm drinking, maybe we can have a beer together. If you want to follow me on the Threads or the Instagram, it is official Rody John. Send me an email if you would like. It is rodyjohn@gmail.com. So until next time, make sure to enjoy life, drink local, and cheers.